and welcome to a rare live Mike's Morning Mug video. Of course, this one is kind of a Mike and Shauna's Morning Mug video. I think number 3, Mike and Shauna Morning Mug. We are actually doing it at night, so it's not really morning, but it's Mike's Morning Mug video number 100. Good to see all of you this evening. So we kind of want to do something a little bit special this evening since we're finally here together permanently. Finally, there's Jill and Zippy down there in the chat. How's it going, everybody? Good to see you. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to honor that. I got my coffee, right? And just talk about a few different things coming up. You guys can throw questions in there. Commander Gaming is very quiet.
Is he back already?
Yeah, from hitting Pokestops. I guess it's just he has to walk right down there and that's it. M. Labuda 61. There's Grizz. There's your sister Sherry. All right. Hey everybody. All right, cool. He says he has his soda. All right, so I guess let's go ahead and get into it. So yes, we're finally here together permanently. Yeah, we're going out of the living room right now because we have to do everything to set up the studio, mainly run the wire out there, and then we have a lot of stuff that we'll have to set up out there. We kind of talked about that the other night on Tuesday night. And there's Zippy saying hi to everybody. Cool. So let's go ahead, and Kaylee says hi as well, by the way.
Hi, Kaylee.
So we have a list of topics that we kind of want to discuss. The first one was something we actually, went out and we did today a little bit, and that's lost cemeteries. I think it's a new project that we're going to go ahead and start, kind of inspired by this cemetery that we went and checked out today.
Yeah, basically cemeteries that have been lost to the elements, lost to time, cemeteries that have been taken over by parks with the bodies still there.
The bodies are still there.
Stuff like that.
They dug a pool with the bodies still there.
Right. So those cemeteries.
Yeah, those types of cemeteries. Even ones that are overgrown, people have forgotten about. Yeah, this particular cemetery that we were checking out today, the pool's no longer there, but I guess they only dug it so deep because they didn't want to risk disturbing some of the bodies that are still there.
Which is nice of them.
Yeah, really nice. Kind of reminds you of the whole Poltergeist, the first Poltergeist movie, where the bodies are coming up out of the pool and all that. So, yeah, not a good idea. And the thing I was sad about is they put a little memorial in the back, right? A little stone, and then they built a little circle thing around it. So it's their kind of way of saying, we're honoring the dead that are buried here. And they pushed it all the way in the back to make you kind of think, if you didn't know any better, that they were all buried back there.
But that's not true.
No. No, because they're all throughout the park. So now you got some information about the headstones, because the headstones are no longer there. It's just this one little monument plaque sort of thing.
Yeah, supposedly those headstones were used as pavers where the sidewalk is now. So not only did they remove the headstones and leave the bodies, but they use those headstones for people to walk on, like stepping stones, which is just as disrespectful, So,
right.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I understand, that sometimes, I know times change and stuff like that, and there needs to be, room for stuff sometimes, but disrupting cemeteries, and where people are resting, where their remains are, that's way too disrespectful for my blood.
Yeah, and Jill is saying that's terrible. Absolutely. John Cleaver saying hello from Tucson, Arizona. Sorry, I haven't been on for a while. So, well, thanks for checking in. Do appreciate it. But yeah, it's all a part of, we want to move forward with our society, and I know I put in the title here, Our Haunted Society. So I really like stuff like this. You know, it's really handy. It's real helpful to be able to do this together. You know, here we are looking at a camera, and people from all across the world are watching right now. You know, that's amazing. So we want to be able to keep progressing like that, but not at the risk of forgetting where we came from. And I think that's what happens when we start bulldozing over cemeteries. Yes, they're very disrespectful for the dead, but you know, we're forgetting where we came from and who we were. And you know, people talk about history repeating itself. We continue to do that all the time.
I mean, like a good example of how to do it the right way, you know, would be, you know, I've heard stories where people have found, you know, remains, and then like, oh, you know, this is something bad. Let's rebury, and then, you know, rememorialize. So the remains are still, you know, intact, just relocated, but everything goes with it. It's not just, well, we'll move your stone over here so people can acknowledge you, but we're gonna sit our house or our park or whatever right on top of you. So I think Elder House is a good example of how to do it the right way, because I think they found you know, the remains, you know, but it's still, but the remains are still there, you know, like they kept the remains,
and they put a little stone there,
right?
Even though he's buried like right there by the street.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, there's the right way to do it, and then there's the wrong and disrespectful way to do it. So.
Yeah, I've heard of, like, there's that big park in Denver that, you know, it's an extremely haunted park because, again, they just moved the headstones, the bodies are still there. There's the Fairy Plantation, which the Next Encounters book is the primary feature for that. And that was one where the developer bulldozed the headstones into the water, and then, you know, a house got built right on top of that piece of land. So, you know, extremely disrespectful to a very, very historic location. Yeah, so while we were walking through there, you know, it's possible that we actually came across one of the graves. Hard to know, but, you know, there's a tree coming up out of the ground. We're going to post some pics up on Facebook later, but there's this block of stone or cement that's coming out of it, and you can see lines that are carved into it, you know, that were obviously done by human hands. So, you know, we're wondering if that's, you know, maybe a stone or a base to a headstone that got lost to time, because a lot of these, you know, after hundreds of years, some of them sink down into the ground and just get lost. And this may have been a case where, you know, the tree's growing up and pushes that stone to the surface. You know, so there may be some of this stuff that's still out there like that.
Which there's really no way to know without, you know, digging it up, which is probably going to be frowned upon. So, you know, the only way to know is just for it to keep unearthing itself, you know.
Michael Scott, our friend from California, who we had on a Tuesday night. Go check out his channel, Michael Scott YT. But he's saying, shouldn't this be Mike's evening mug? Yeah, it should be Mike's evening mug. I kind of alluded to that at the beginning. In my posts on Facebook about this, I think on Twitter, I put it as Mike's evening mug. We're doing a Mike's morning mug video. I know, it's weird. But
there used to be a Mike's evening glass.
That's right. I did used to do a Mike's evening glass for like a glass of wine. So
coffee in the morning, wine at night.
Yeah, should bust out the wine.
Coffee in the morning, spirits.
Spirits at night. Another thing that was kind of interesting is we came across something near that piece of stone or concrete, and that was this. So I'm gonna try to show you guys. Okay, that's one side, and there's no autofocus here, so there's that, and then this is the back side of it. So yeah, I mean, I know what it kind of looks like. The thing is that here, I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like stone, right? But it looks like a bone fragment. So I'm not really sure what it is, but it was right there by where may have been a grave. You know, I don't know if this, I mean, if it was bone, if it was so old that it, you know, completely calcified into a rock. I don't know. But it does have that look of, you know, because it looks a little bit porous in some areas. and then the darkened area looks like okay, where bone marrow could have been. We don't know. So it was an interesting find there. We're not going to say what it is right now. Very likely could really just be rock. I know that's your impression.
That's what I thought. I initially just blow everything off as debunkable until I can find otherwise.
So at this point, we don't know.
Yep, I don't know.
So you're leaning toward rock. I'm leaning to I don't know. I don't know. So I do want to get it checked out just because of what it looks like in the plot of land where it comes from. So we don't know. So that's our part of our beginning to our Lost Cemeteries series that we'll start. I don't know when the heck we're going to actually start filming that. I mean, we've been filming cemetery stuff for a long time, but this one's kind of an interesting take. We did the overgrown one last year. We released the video earlier this year, and our friend Carol from Cheney House is
gonna hook us up.
Yeah. So because that's the Jersey County Historical Society there, and she's gonna hook us up with some lost cemeteries. So Sherry saying Jill asked if it could be petrified. Well, and that's what I'm wondering, if it's for however long it's been in the ground, if it's petrified enough or maybe calcified enough that it appears to be has that feels like, sounds like stone, but has original properties that are otherwise. So here's Tracy Christian saying hello Tracy, good to see you. Samuel Hall is checking in while at work. Good to see you, Samuel. Don't get caught. Don't get caught, because we won't want that to happen to you. So what else is on our list of goodies for the evening?
Does water have memory?
Does water have memory? So Shauna's wondering where I'm going with this one. Does water have memory? You just want me to take this one away, don't you? Because you're like, this is your crazy idea.
I'm gonna kick back and listen.
No, it's Tom McNicholas. Just found you, duh. Yeah, we're live here, Haunted Road Media YouTube channel. Tom McNicholas, one of our Deep Down the Rabbit Hole Patreon patrons, one of our biggest supporters. Good to see you. So yeah, does water have memory? And the reason why I asked this, it's just kind of, I don't know. We're sitting out there watching the full moon last night, and I'm watching the clouds go by the moon because it wasn't just completely clear. There's clouds passing by the moon as we're trying to watch. Shauna's getting charged up with her stones, and I'm trying to take photos. And I'm looking at the cloud, and I'm like, water just works in a cycle here. It's in a cloud up there now. There's some moisture on the ground right now. It's going to fall in the sky on us, and they keep going through this cycle, right? I mean, we all know the cycle of rain, ground, evaporate, it back into the air, all that. Of course, it comes down snow in some places. So, water is perpetual. It's always there, and it keeps going round and round and around over all the millennia. So, it would stand to reason then that these water droplets that hit us as we go outside in the rain have also dropped on our ancestors, have also dropped on the ancients, the people from thousands of years ago. So the same water is touching you as it did Julius Caesar or Genghis Khan or I don't know, Mary Magdalene.
Super chat.
Or there's $10 super chat from Tom McNicholas. Extra gas money for Spook Show. Awesome. Yes, Spook Show next week, and we'll talk about Spook Show coming next weekend. I was trying to think of a woman from the past. Joan of Arc. Trying to Cleopatra. Yes. So Ramses. Right? Evaporates, goes up into the air, travels, drops, this cycle again and again and again. So there you go. And there's Sierra Dickinson saying down there Cleopatra. So yeah, Gotcha. She's gotcha. And she's also saying that's very true. I've never thought of this. So, yeah. So we have all these questions about our past, about the way things worked and things that happened. There's so much controversy about our ancient origins and all that. So if water is perpetual, you know, we go into like the ground looking for stuff. We drill ice cores looking for information. Well, maybe it's in the water that falls on us every day too. I don't know. So does water have memory? I might be stretching a little bit here, but it's just something that came into my head last night.
I mean, we know that water is a good conductor of energy, so maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why.
It's soaking up the energy of all of the people all over everywhere from every time period, whatever.
So, Sarah says that she was just, you were just saying Cleopatra, she hit send, but Robert Veach says rain also takes small amounts of DNA from each person who it hits and then recycles back. Interesting. So
that's what I was thinking of about 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Before we started this. Because I figured you were going to ask for my opinion about something on it, and I was like, I better have one.
Well,
I was going to say that, actually.
I knew you kind of like gave me that odd look when I mentioned it the other day.
It was one of your random, I was like...
Random thought.
Oh, okay.
Does water have memory? So, but that's interesting. So, yeah, if rain picks up small amounts of DNA and spreads it around, so there may be DNA of, you know, all kinds of people running around about here, so... You know, I mean, that would be tough for, like, a murder case, right? If your DNA ended up somewhere because of the rain. I don't know.
That's stretching.
Yeah, it might be stretching it. But, hey, it's, it was one to think about. What was that thing about, when we were kids? One to grow on. And that's one to grow on.
That's birthday spankings.
Oh. No, it was some show. Yeah, some
Pinch
show.
to grow an inch.
Pinch to grow an inch.
Were you spanking one
No, it was like Saturday morning.
One to grow on. Like just an extra excuse, or excuse for an extra spank. That's basically what it was.
Okay. So, one that you can still talk about. Or at least a little bit more reasonably, rather than my weird stuff. Because I got a lot of weird stuff. It's coffee. It's late. We're drinking. And Zippy's got to go fix a propane tank. Okay, Zippy, it's all right. Thanks for hanging out. So, Kampsville Grade School. I'm bringing that up again. I know you guys are probably like, man, they talk about that grade school a lot. And we can't get back into it right now, so how much more could we really talk about it? So, I came up with a thought about it. Because one of the things that we've, that has remained a mystery for us, are the footsteps up on the second floor when there is no second floor. And we have not been able to find a two-story building or evidence of a two-story building, some history of a two-story building on that particular property. However, it was an archaeological dig site. We do know that. Mm-hmm. And you can see the terracing back behind the building and on the property of where they would have done that dig. So, you have to keep in mind the base, the first floor of, and there's only one floor, of this school is lower than where the original hill would have been, because they dug that out. And if you kind of draw a line from where the hill was down, that would mean where we're thinking there's a second floor, or we're hearing footsteps from a second floor, would have actually been a first floor, because the hill got dug out. So I just kind of hit you with that one today.
That makes sense. So we're actually, our first floor would actually be, well, where we're hearing footsteps is actually the first floor. So then, you know, where we are would be classified as the basement or the...
We would have been in the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the basement that we go down to, where we hear all kinds of stuff out of, is even further down.
Right.
So that's a possibility for that, because that was like our one really big mystery still lingering from the Kampsville grade school is, you know, where the footsteps coming from if we can't find evidence of a 2-story building being on the property. So that would mean a 1-story building, which might be a little easier to find.
Which there has been.
Which there has been. And I know Bree Jones has like done some sort of work to try to figure out in her psychic reading of it, and she thinks that there was an Indian longhouse on the property at one point, but I think they had dirt floors, right? I think so. So probably after that, but a 1-story building on that property, I think that works.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that leaves us with one other thing for our morning mug. Our Alton project that we're working on. So we are still working on that. It has been a little while since we've been out there filming for it, just because, you know, I've been traveling, all of that. I also kind of screwed up some stuff early, you know, where it's like forgetting equipment and things like that. But now that I got it. Now that I am here full time, we're able to work on that a bit more, and we would like to have that out here, at least the first couple episodes, within the first couple, or within the first. I totally lost my train of thought. We'd like to have the first couple episodes out here within the next couple of months. That's what I'm trying to say.
Halloween's coming.
Halloween's coming up. We have the Encounters book. William Stillman's book just came out. We have Marla Brooks' book. I'm working on my Shadow Person book. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I would like to get the first couple of those out. And I mean, I'm pretty excited about it in general, just because we're hitting a lot of different locations that people don't usually hit.
Right. And, you know, we have some old favorites, of course.
Of course.
But there are some places which have not really been investigated, so to speak. So, I personally like to explore the unexplored, uncharted territory, places that haven't been over-investigated. And, you know, not to say that some of those over-investigated places aren't awesome, because some of them are, but yeah, I kind of like the idea of, you know, breaking new ground. So that's what this project's going to be, you know, about.
Yep, it's going to be very, very cool. Want to give a shout out to Cheryl Hussein, who isn't normally with us live. She's very supportive, comments on a lot of our stuff on, you know, on the videos here on the Hunter Road Media YouTube channel, on Facebook, all of that. But she rarely hits us live. She's out in Pakistan. So, Cheryl, that's awesome that you're able to join us tonight. From Sherry, this is Kaylee. You guys should make a Hunter Road Media game for tablets with ghosts featuring Ghosty.
You never know.
You never know. I do actually have a degree in game and simulation programming, so it's entirely possible, although I haven't done much with gaming in a long time. So you never know.
A Where's Ghosty game.
A Where's Ghosty game. Yeah, we could do a Where's Ghosty game. And we do the Ghosty Facebook page has that. Where's Ghosty game with just the photos. But we could do something like that. And Sierra saying, I enjoy seeing fresh haunts. So yeah, these are going to be very fresh because nobody's covering them. You found all that stuff in newspaper articles.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited. So I just kind of gave away what we're doing. If you guys have been paying attention for us for months or the past year, you'll know what we're talking about. Unfortunately, that just really gave it away. Oops. And there's Dawn, Spooky Spectacular. Very cool to see you down there, Dawn. And Sherry saying, Mike, you and Colton could possibly collaborate. Maybe. Yes, but that's an exciting project that we've been working on. And I mean, we're kind of based there in Mineral Springs, which has been getting a lot of attention lately. It's where we had our Haunted Road Media Paracon, and a lot of stuff's been going on with that lately. So it's kind of the base, but then we're spreading out from there to all kinds of different places. So, and then even stuff that we're coming across that we never even knew, like I don't say specifically what, but we're discovering that there's a haunted this one particular location, going through the history of that spot, discovering that not related to the haunting of it, that there was a murder there, and it was the body was taken to a house in a neighborhood that we were looking at for one of the other ghost stories that we were tracking down. So it's like there's these different connections between these different stories that you didn't think these two locations could possibly be related at all, but then you find this one connection like that.
Which is why it pays to be aware and to research and to leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, seriously. Dustin Samario saying, "Did I miss anything?" Everything. Pretty much.
Dustin, is he going to be there?
I expect Dustin's going to be at Spook Show Con. So better be there. So we could talk about that real quick and wrap it up with Spook Show Con. So next weekend, Friday and Saturday, we're going to be in Mattoon, Illinois, Spook Show Con. So Tom McNicholas down there in the chat
hooked us up.
I know I could probably provide all the details down in there. It starts at 3. Am I thinking that one right, Tom? It starts at 3 o'clock on Friday. So all day Friday starting at 3, and then all day Saturday, I think it starts at 10, right? In the morning on Saturday. So a lot of great people are going to be there. Shauna, Jeff Mudgett, and Santiago Cirillo is going to be there. I got to do it because Santiago does this all the time. Hi-ya!
You cannot miss him.
You know exactly where he's at.
He is a very vibrant and colorful man.
Dustin says he's going to be there, so that's cool. And Tom says Friday at 3. Okay, cool. So, and there's Bonnie Halper, and hey, Bonnie, how you doing? So, so we'll have a lot of fun. That's the first time we're going to meet Jeff. So, and that will be very, very cool. We had him on last year to talk about the show American Ripper and his theories of how H.H. Holmes, serial killer here in America, was also Jack the Ripper. And what's cool is that Jeff Mudgett is H.H. Holmes' great grandson. So it's just if you ever saw the show, I should say, if you've never seen the show, go watch it. Very, very cool stuff. Very interesting. So, what you got? Jill is saying, we have a rental property that's haunted. Almost every tenant had the same experiences. You should investigate our house. Where are you at? If we could make arrangements and get there, if it's not too far away, whatever, we could probably figure it out. I mean, unless you're like out in Alaska or whatever. Although I did used to live in Alaska, so all right, then Bonnie's telling us congratulations. Thank you. Yes, we're finally here together. It only took 2 years, right?
Right.
Yeah. So Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's actually not that far.
Nope.
We could probably figure that out. So contact us through haunterroadmedia.com, and we'll see if we can figure something out. So, Dustin, I'll come. You can stick me in your trunk. There you go. See, Tom is also driving Nick and Dustin. Call me Uber. Cool. So he's actually bringing them down there. Sometimes what you got to do. All right. Okay, well, I think that'll about wrap it up. So, thanks for joining us for this special 100th of these of the Mike's Morning Mug.
That's a lot of caffeine.
It's a lot of caffeine.
Is that haunted roast in there?
It is haunted road roast in here. Oh, I forgot to even say that. This episode is brought... Hang on a second.
least it's not so far to go.
Yeah, it was just right over there. So, this episode is brought to you by Haunted Road Roast. The official coffee of Haunted Road Media. Here's how to order.
I hear it's good. I've never tried it. No.
She doesn't drink coffee.
Unless it's got so much stuff in it that it's not even recognizable as coffee anymore.
Takes a while, but I actually converted to just straight black from 5 sugars and creamer. Yeah. Of course, I was like 20 or 21 when I was doing that. So it took many years to wean myself down to straight black. And Bonnie's saying, so glad you two are finally together. Yes. So am I. So, all right. So that is going to do it. Yes. Join us for Spook Show Con next weekend. Coming up, of course, we have Edge of the Rabbit Hole, Inside the Upside Down on Tuesday night. We have William Stillman joining us again this Tuesday. His book, Conversation with Dogs, from Haunted Road Media, just came out a couple days ago. So it's a reprint. His former publisher was defunct, so we have reprinted it for him, and that is available now. It's pretty interesting. So he talks about how he, as a psychic medium, has been able to actually communicate with dogs, and actually teaches people within it how you can actually do that as well. And it gets into some different things like dogs being empaths and things like that. So it's pretty interesting. So we have that coming up. I don't know what we're doing for Inside the Upside Down yet. I really don't.
No
We'll figure it out. We always do. We'll see other stuff coming up. Oh, Vandalia video. So we have a lot of unpacking and everything to do.
Yeah, and I still need to listen to my audio from that night.
Right. Well, you gave me your audio from that night.
I've never even listened to it.
Right. And so I'm hoping to get that out within the next couple of days. I'd really like to get that video out, because we have so much other stuff going on with like the Alton project, and we've got the Cheney House video, and just a bunch of stuff within the next couple of months. So yeah, Tom McNicholas, love your studio. This isn't the studio.
Not yet.
This isn't the studio. We're just in the living room. The studio is going to take a little time to get set up. So we need to run network out there for one, and then it's... Oh, if you're just referring to the photo you saw on Facebook, I did post the photo on Facebook. So if that's what you're referring to, thank you. So, scratch that, reverse it. Fun. Okay. I think that's it. All right. So we will see all of you on Tuesday night, and then at Spook Show Con, we'll do some live stuff from there if we can, because it's always like, can we get a signal in the middle of nowhere, Illinois?
That happens a lot.
Happens. Although we did go live from Ashmore that last time we were out there.
And you did go live from Mattoon.
We did, yes, because I walked around the mall.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So we'll go live on Saturday. Right? Okay. Right. Yeah, sure. So can't wait to see I get it decorated. Yeah, we're going to do some interesting things out there.
Yes.
We will. So, yep. Everybody, have a good night. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. More to come from Haunted Road Media. And drink some coffee. Haunted Road Roast. You know you want some. It's calling your name. Oh. Glad I could make you laugh.